I'm Yonathan Dominitz from Mindscapes. I'm based in Tel Aviv, Israel, and Mindscapes is a small team of people dedicated to helping agencies and companies around the world to think more creatively. There you go. Okay. So what we do in Mindscapes is we help companies and creative agencies to invent and to create better creative ideas, more creative, more effective, and faster. And the way we do it, we work, although we are a small company, we work globally in more than 35 markets all around the world, from the US to Japan and many places in between, as you see on this map. We are already present in Kenya for several years, and we have trained several agencies and individuals and companies. And our work is based on an understanding. What we do is we teach people how to think more creatively, which is a very difficult task to begin with and very ambitious. And there are several methodologies how to teach or to instruct people to think more creatively, to be more creative. Our work, our specific methodology is based on an understanding that if you look into the most creative ideas which are created in advertising, in communication, in product development, in product innovation, creative ideas by definition are original and unique. So what we do is we look at creative ideas and we try to find common recurring thinking patterns behind these ideas. So we scan a lot of and we analyze a lot of new ideas every year, and we see that although creative ideas are very different, still there are some recurring patterns. So we classify those patterns, we identify them, we analyze them, and then the patterns that we see relevant and helpful, we transform them into active thinking tools, so that people who need a lot of resources of inspiration on the one hand and clear creative direction, how do you channel your mind when you have a problem, when you have a creative challenge, when you have a marketing challenge? People can use those tools to direct their minds into areas that experience shows is very fertile with new creative possibilities. So our tools, we can divide our thinking tools into three main categories. On the left-hand side, you see, we call it creativity to discover. And these are tools that help us to develop, to reveal, to uncover new insights, consumer insights, marketing insights, human insights, based on which we can create new marketing strategies, new products, and new briefs or new marketing and communication campaigns. The middle, the second class is innovation. And there are some tools that help us to come up with new innovative ideas for products, for services, or for campaigns. And the third category is creativity to deliver. And these are tools that help us to create a communication idea, an advertising idea, a social media idea, a PR idea. How do you communicate once you have a message, once you know what is your product, what is your brand, what does a brand stand for, what is the insight? How do you come up with an innovative, creative story, creative idea that will deliver and carry your message to the hearts and minds of consumers? So these are the three areas, and help you to recognize an insight pattern. When we talk about insights, the challenge is information is everywhere. We all have access to a lot of information, a lot of data about consumers, about the market, about competitors, about the brand, about the product, and so forth. But which of this information, of those pieces of data and information that we have, which of them is insightful? Which one of those pieces of information we can use as an insight based on which we can launch a new product or a new communication? Is coming from Japan, from a small or mid-size burger chain called Freshness Burger. And they launched already a couple of months before a huge new burger that you see here, my mouth-watering huge burger. And they started to promote it and to sell it in their restaurants. And they realized that males love this product and eat it and consume it, but women hardly approach it and they don't try it. And they started to check out why. And they came up with a beautiful insight based on which they came up with this idea, which is called Liberation Whopper. Take a look.
Freshness Burger, a national hamburger chain in Japan, faced a challenge. Classic Burger, their largest offering, was the one list chosen by female customers. Why? For Japanese women, having an ochobo, small and modest mouth, is regarded as attractive. In public, a large open mouth is regarded as ugly and rude. It is therefore considered good manners to cover the mouth when opening it. This means they are denied the wild pleasure of taking mouth-sized bites of this big tasty burger freely in public. Freshness Burger decided to challenge this convention, freeing women from the spell of the ochobo mouth. We introduced the Liberation Wrapper, a large wrapper that lets women fulfill their desire for a big, juicy, mouth-sized bite of a classic burger. And that is for everyone. Result: the campaign was a big and instant success. Sales of classic burger to female customer was up to 213% compared to the previous month. The campaign was featured on national network TV and welcomed by happy voices across social network media. Freeing women from the spell of ochobo.
The insights is actually a conflict. Let's talk about women in Japan have a conflict between respecting the tradition and being polite in public and their wish to have a great burger, which means opening a big mouth in public. So we point out this tool helps us when we look for insight. It asks us, where is the conflict? Try to identify a conflict. Why? Why a conflict can be such a powerful insight? Because when we have conflicts, and unfortunately each one of us has several conflicts, if not more. When we have conflict, we are not at ease. We have some tension, some stress and discomfort, and we look for a solution. And if a brand, if a company is smart enough to identify a conflict that we have that has some relevance to the brand idea, to the product, to the brand value, to the company, if we can identify such a conflict and depict it in our message, in our story, in our communication, people will be all ears, as the expressions say, because you talk to me, you talk about something that matters to me, so I listen very carefully to you. So therefore, if we identify such conflict and we put the light on it in the communication, not necessarily solving the conflict, but at least putting a light on it and being sympathetic with it, the chances that people will listen to us are enhanced, and the chances that we will become more relevant and meaningful and credible for people is enhanced. And this is what we look in marketing and in communication. And I'll go now to present to you another tool, which is an innovation tool. It is a tool that helps us to come up with new innovative ideas. And again, I'll do it by presenting to you. This is coming from France for a supermarket chain called Intermarché. And Intermarché wanted to position themselves as the freshest supermarket. Actually, what they wanted to communicate is that they have really fresh fruits and vegetables and items in their store. And they briefed the agency, what can we do? How can we communicate this? And the agency came up not only with an advertising idea, they came up with a product innovation idea. They came up with an idea which is called the freshest juice ever created. And you'll see the case.
550 million liters of orange juice are sold every day in the world. Half of that in Europe. The competition is fierce, every brand claiming its juice to be the best. But one thing is for sure, no orange juice is better and healthier than a freshly squeezed one. And what proves the freshness of a fresh orange juice better than the exact hour and minute the juice was made? That's why Intermarché, one of the largest supermarket chains in France, has launched the freshest fresh orange juice brand ever created. A juice brand whose name is the exact time the juice was made. Yes, the name of the brand changes every minute with every bottle of orange juice made. Now, discover the 8:36 a.m. fresh orange juice brand. The 8:36 a.m. fresh orange juice brand was created at exactly 8:36 a.m. The oranges were squeezed at 8:36 a.m. The bottle was labeled at 8:36 a.m. and brought to the dedicated aisle, and the process was exactly the same for the 8:37, 38, 39 a.m. brands and so on. They were made live in store to adapt to demand and avoid any waste. This new fresh orange juice brand was launched with a whole integrated campaign, making fun of our competitors and their pseudo-traditional way of making orange juice. Discover this juice unequaled since 5:43 p.m., born out of the courage and obstinacy of a woman who squeezed and squeezed for endless seconds to create this extremely fresh juice envied by the whole world since 5:43 p.m. People liked the freshness of the juice, so much so that in the first 3 days of the campaign, our fresh orange juice sales multiplied by 4,600% per store, and overall in-store traffic increased by 25%. And the media liked the freshness of the idea. 50 million media impressions were generated in the first 3 hours of the launch, and the hashtag Le Jus le plus frais, the freshest juice ever, has spread quickly over the web. Finally, at the very moment you're watching this video, a whole new brand of orange juice is actually being created. The freshest fresh orange juice brand ever made.
Okay, so 3 ideas, different ideas. Now we talk about the innovation, the creative idea behind the innovation. In those 3 ideas, they invented something that wasn't there before. The overstay checkout, the paper laugh, and the freshest juice ever created. When you think about those 3 innovative ideas, can you find something similar, common in the creative idea itself, in the mechanics of the creative ideas? In the freshest juice, for the first time, they connected the name of the brand was connected to the time of production. Before that, and everywhere when we go to marketing schools, if we go to marketing schools, universities, they tell us, don't touch the brand. The brand is the holy grail. Don't touch it. So we never touch the brand, and it makes sense many times, but if it is a private label store and everything in the store or majority of the items are anyway private label, the name of the brand is not so important, and the time of production, when you want to communicate the freshness of the juice, is much more relevant. So creating a connection whereby the time of production is connected to the brand name, and actually it is the brand name, the exact minute, hour and minute that the juice was squeezed. So this tool helps us to look at a system as a web of variables. We will talk about what is a variable and how do you play with variables. And so to scan and to see what are the variables that we have in a system, in a product, in a supermarket, in a juice, in a theater, and how we can play with those connections to connect things that were never connected before and creating dynamic connections. By this, adding new values, new benefit, new experiences for people, and by this, reinforcing the brand name in an innovative way. And that's the idea, not just creating innovation for the sake of innovation, but in order to make the brand and the product more relevant and meaningful for people's life. That's what the innovation is about. That's it. We have seen here two different tools. One, search for conflict. It's 1 out of 6 insight tools that we have, and dynamic connection is 1 innovation tool out of 6 innovation tools that we have. Just to wrap it up,
Now he's 43 years old, nearly 2 meters tall, and weighs just over 2 tons.
Yes, he is. And if he doesn't find love, we may not see another one like him ever again.
How's he doing? How's Sudan?
Rhino called Sudan is looking for love, apparently, on the dating app Tinder.
Thank you, Wildlife Refuge in Kenya, for setting up a Tinder account for your endangered rhino. You must be pretty horny.
In the program that we will have in early April in Nairobi, there will be a whole day for insights. We will see several different insight tools backed up with a lot of case studies, a lot of inspiring cases. And each time when we will learn a tool, we will implement it on a real marketing and communication challenge, so that you will be able not only to see the tool, but actually to practice it and to work on it and to see how it helps you to come up with new insight ideas, so that to expand your capabilities of revealing new insights. And the second day will be on innovation. And we will learn several innovation tools like the dynamic connections. And again, we will apply it to some marketing briefs and challenges, so as to see how it helps us to create innovative ideas, not only in theory, but actually in practice.